Hi, welcome to SBR Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. This is our daily NBA show we are doing right now with Troy West from allplayswin.com. Today is Friday, March 27th. We got 13 games on the card tonight. Troy West, thanks for being with us.
Thanks, Pete. I appreciate it. Yeah, great NBA card today. Not to be underlooked by the March Madness games. I think there's some good value here in the NBA today.
It's a tricky time in the season, right? Because you really have to do your research and figure out what the motivations of each team are in general on each specific night, and also what their lineups are going to be, because some teams are resting people. There's a lot of things that I'm seeing here that sort of play into that. The first one is the Lakers and Toronto, right? Now, the Lakers are, in general, a pretty poor team this year. We know that, but they're actually resting their top guys, and they're playing a lot of youngsters to evaluate them who are playing for their jobs, and I think that might be making them kind of a good bet. The Lakers are actually 12-4 against spread over their last 19 games, and I was kind of leaning towards them at plus 9.5 on the overnight line. It's gotten bet down to 8 or 8.5. Toronto not doing that well ATS. They're 5-13 against spread over their last 18. So, I'm thinking that maybe the Lakers is a big underdog here. It is, they have to go all the way across country, so it's a long road trip for them. You think maybe the Lakers might be a value play here, Troy?
Pete, it looks interesting. Toronto's one of those tricky teams, like you said. They looked so good against Chicago for 3.5 quarters the last game, and then they fell apart. That seems to be a trend of them lately. But it is very difficult for me to go against Toronto at home and the Lakers on the road again. They've been on the road now for quite some time. A lot of points, though. A lot of points to give the Lakers, but looks tricky. It's tough to go against Toronto. When will they bounce back? Is it a good opportunity for them to bounce back against a bad team like the Lakers?
And then another team that's kind of been playing the spoiler recently is Sacramento, right? They got a new coach. They got George Karl in, and they covered 3 out of their last 4. Before that, they were on a pretty bad 1-8 ATS run. But, they do seem to have some pep in their step as the season winds down. The Pelicans are kind of banged up. Even the guys who are playing are a little bit nicked up. They're 1-5 against spread over their last 6, and they were a 7-point favorite on the overnight line. Now it's down to 6.5. I was liking Sacramento at plus 7. At 6.5, I'm thinking of them as well. But what do you think about Sacramento plus 6.5?
Yeah, Sacramento, Pete, is one of those teams that, my God, they're just so hard to bet for or against. They're so bipolar. Yeah. You get those games where DeMarcus Cousins shows up, Rudy Gay shows up. They have the talent, and they put up a lot of points, but there are games I just feel like, where's the defense? They give up 120, 130, and they get blown out. So on paper, it looks like there's definitely some value there, but they're just too tricky of a team for me, Pete. They're so bipolar. They are playing better under George Karl. He's a fantastic coach, but what are you going to get from the Kings on consistency? That's the tricky part with Sacramento. Yeah,
good point there. They're talking about bipolar teams. Denver is a 1.5-point home favorite. I thought they might be a good bet against Philly when they were a double-digit favorite. They wound up losing outright by double digits against Philly. And, will they bounce back from that one? I'm not exactly sure, but Utah's kind of struggling themselves. They've lost 3 in a row against the spread. So is Denver at home minus 1.5 or 2 maybe a sneaky good play here, or is Denver just a team you want to avoid right now?
Yeah, I would say Denver's probably a team you want to avoid. Gordon Hayward back in the lineup tonight for Utah. He could provide them a spark, but two teams that really aren't fighting for just about anything here, Pete, other than a draft pick. So it's difficult to look at these type of games, and the motivation factor definitely weighs a little bit here. But with Gordon Hayward back, I would stay away from Denver having any value at home. They just look so bad against the Philadelphia 76ers.
All right, I hear you, Troy. It's an interesting card. We got a bunch of other big favorites, a couple of big road favorites. We will see what you have to say in the pick segment coming right up right now. First, give a plug for allplayswin.com. Tell everyone what your site's all about.
Thanks, Pete. I appreciate it. Yeah, going strong. Had another outstanding day in March Madness yesterday. Looking to finish this tournament strong. Really looking to be selective in the NBA, but we've had a great year in the NBA. NHL's been strong. Come take a look at allplayswin.com, Pete. 9 years in this business. Winning picks and the best customer service in the industry.